Today I'm going to build a dog bed out of construction lumber that you can get at any Lowe's or Home Depot or any construction store for my dog, which happens to be in the video as well for a brief time. Anyway, I have a farm table, a different style, coming up for my next video, so please like, comment, and subscribe below. It helps me a lot and it's completely free to you. So I'm cutting down the pieces on my miter saw, and what I'm doing is taking a 2x8 and cutting two pieces that are 26 inches and one piece that is 34 inches. Now obviously everybody's dog and or cat is a different size. I have a boxer and he's a pretty big dog. He's like 90 pounds, so that's the size that I went with. I also measured a pillow that I was putting in there, so I needed it to be bigger than the pillow. And you can see here that I'm cutting off the rounded over edges on the 2x8, so I think the actual width of the boards after they were cut down was 7 inches. And I planed them all down to minimize sanding, which is my least favorite woodworking thing to do. I'm sure it's the same with every person who builds anything. You'll notice in my videos I use my planer a ton. I love it. It's definitely one of my favorite tools. And this is where I am cutting the rabbets. I'm cutting that at the end of each 26-inch piece, and then the 34-inch single piece will fit in that on each side, and that's just making the basic box. You can see the wood walking a bit. Whenever you put pinched wood between the blade and the fence, most people know that's where you get kickback. It didn't kick back there, but it started to move a little bit. And I do have my dado stack in here. This part's optional. I decided to put walnut inlays into the side of the dog bed just to jazz it up a bit. Now, my choice of stain, which you'll see at the end, kind of negated the fact of me putting in those inlays, since I used a dark walnut stain. I clearly wasn't thinking. And right now I'm just going to cut the walnut down. I didn't go too small on the table saw for the walnut because I did not want to cut a small piece. It can be kind of dangerous, so what I did is I just planed them to the correct size after I cut them down to fit in those dados to give it a nice little walnut inlay. And like I said, I use my planer for everything. It's probably I probably use it almost on every single project that I do. I'm pre-drilling the holes right now. I'll fill these in later with dowels, but I'm pre-drilling holes for the screws to reinforce the rabbets. And I'm putting just a piece of scrap 2x4 underneath it so it doesn't break the wood or split. It just kind of helps. And I only put the inlays on the two side pieces, not the back piece, because that's going to be against the wall for my house. I like to lay on the glue pretty thick, as you can see, but it actually there wasn't a lot of squeeze out here. Sometimes I get a lot of squeeze out. I try to be better with the glue, but I like to make stuff extra sturdy. And I cut those walnut strips a little long. I'll go back and cut them off with a flush cut saw after. Just put some buckets on there that I have. They're obviously Home Depot buckets. I clearly have 0 sponsors because I have like 207 subscribers. So there's my dog, my boxer. I've had him since he was a puppy. I pushed him out of the way just a slight bit because that, I don't want him. He's fearless. He tries to go near the tools, and I try to avoid that. So. And I'm just gluing up those rabbets, and I had already put the inlays in. I'm going to clamp that down before I screw that together. Anyway, our boxer, we've had him since he was a puppy, and he is now 9 years old. So I've had him for a long time. He's definitely a member of the family. He has been since the beginning. I think I put like 2 or 2.5 inch screws in there. Just put 2 on each side is all that I did. And now I'm just cutting down some construction plywood that I had. It's a 1/2 inch plywood, and that's going to go in the rabbit that I put in the bottom of all 3 pieces. And that's going to make up the base of the dog bed. And I'm just gluing here for the dowels. I make those long enough, obviously. I just kind of go with it. I don't measure them, and then I just flush cut them off. And it's a pretty tight fit, so I didn't wait for the glue to dry before I cut them off. I guess that can be risky if one pops out or breaks before it's fully dry. But for dowels, it's not a big deal to me. I actually like the contrast of putting a dowel in. It makes, I think it looks pretty cool. With stain or without stain, it just gives it a contrast, which I'm a big fan of contrast. That's why I put the walnut inlays in there. I have my little palm router. I'm going to round over the outside edge of it all the way around. And you can see the rabbit that's cut in the bottom. I didn't put the piece of construction lumber in there yet. And I painted the construction lumber. I painted it brown. So I didn't put it in there yet because right now I'm putting the pre-stain conditioner on, and then I'm going to stain the dog bed. And again, it was a dark walnut. And since the base is painted brown, I didn't want to get any on that. Alright, there's the final finish. It's a coat of gloss polyurethane, and it's going to pop right out. Thanks for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe below. Again, I have another video coming out next. It'll be a farmhouse table. Thanks again. See you next time.